Hello, investors. It's Don Vandenbord, Chief Investment Officer with Revere Asset Management. Today is Thursday, June 12th, 5:01 p.m. Eastern Time, coming to you from St. Augustine Beach, Florida, with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we're in an uptrend since the O'Neill follow-through days on April 22nd and 23rd. Check the trend gauge over here. Leaders marked with the coveted green arrow for growth, same as our short-term uh, and medium-term trend indicators, green arrows, short-term using the 21-day moving average for the major indexes, medium-term using 50-day moving average. Mixed bag for long-term, we're on neutral. S&P and NASDAQ 100 continue to be firmly above. That's where we give most of the weight to. So what happened today? Mixed tape. Seems like the dog days of summer are creeping into the tape, kind of a dull day, tight range. S&P 500 supported at 6,000 for the third day in a row. That acted as a little bit of resistance the 2 days prior to those 3 days. But now overnight pullbacks and during the day, we're undercutting and reclaiming that key 6,000 level. So that's a very big level to maintain on the S&P. Here are the numbers on the day. 21 over 21 list down 0.21% on average, 9 up, 12 down. The Turbo 10 down 0.58%, 5 up, 5 down. We're going to expand this to the Turbo 12 next week because these are volatile stocks and one or two could really throw off what's truly going on with them. So we're going to expand it to 12 stocks next week. The big eight down an average of 0.08%, led to the downside by Tesla. S&P 500 opened down at 0.2, but closed near the highs of the day, 0.38%, equal weight up 0.23. NASDAQ 100 also opened down 0.2, but closed positive by 0.23, equal weight just barely positive. Dow positive, mid caps down, small caps also down, global 60/40 up 0.36%. Our flagship GROTECTION portfolio up 0.06%. Our aggressive TurboTection portfolio down 0.73%. Minor pullback there after a huge up day yesterday on Turbo. Let's get to the charts. We'll start off with the S&P 500. You can see 5 straight days we've overlapped this 6,000 level. Acted as a bit of resistance 2 days ago, but the past 3 days pullbacks have contained it. Got close to the 8-day exponential moving average today, but closed near the tops of the range, top of that range, top of the daily range. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. We do like, if you want to look a little further down, if we break 6,000, the low of the 6-5 day, the 21-day moving average is creeping up to be in line with that. That low is 59.21. That's going to be a key level because that also tested this tight 5-day range that we broke out of on June 3rd. So it's just a matter of former resistance becoming support, and that support stands until we get far higher than it, and it doesn't matter anymore. Really, the key level support now is 6,000, but 59.21. If we go down below that, and as I said, the 21-day moving average will come up to that level tomorrow, providing additional support. NASDAQ 100 continues to ride the 8 EMA higher, very same situation. The highs of the range, 537, that was achieved yesterday. So today was an inside day for the NASDAQ 100. Relative strength slightly making higher highs and higher lows, but kind of flattening out relative to how we led from early April to the beginning of May on the NASDAQ 100. Nothing goes up and dominates forever. Let's look at the equal weight S&P 500 very quickly. Looking good, still within the range and hasn't surpassed the range from mid-May. However, relative weakness still persisting there. Dow Jones Industrial Average, the last of the big cap indexes, it has a value bent. Touched the 8 EMA and bounced today. You can see the downtrending relative strength line on there, although it's flattened a bit over the last 4 weeks. Let's go to the mid cap 400. Still in a range, hasn't overcome the range from mid-May either, and the 200-day moving average above there be a big win for the bulls if this got up and out above the 200-day moving average. On the other hand, small caps failure into the 200-day moving average yesterday seemed like a bit of a short, but now we've got two levels to look at here: the uptrending 8 EMA on the downside and the 200-day moving average to the upside. It's possible that whichever wins that battle may dictate what's going to happen for the overall market. Um, Although we are still, as I said, we always put more weight on the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, but we do pay attention to small caps, and really have paid a lot of attention to how they've lagged recently, and that continues. Those are the major indexes. Let's go to the VIX. VIX up slightly today, ran into the declining 21-day moving average. Really not that big of a deal. From the VIX, we'll go to the US dollar. And the dollar continues to make lower lows. Not a good look for the dollar, but that is a good look for precious metals. You can see gold gapped up, closed up 1.2% today. GDX, gold stocks, up 3% with a gap up. Silver had a breakout, maintaining that breakout. It was up 0.3% today. Bitcoin, strength earlier in the week, pulled back today, down 1.8%. Let's flip to bonds now. BND, bond prices up, still in a multi-month trading range. Uh, Prices up on BND and on TLT, the long bond up 1.2%. That means yields lower, down 1.3%. And the 10-year down as well, 1.25%. Let's go to the tail of the tape. So news, well, actually, let's go to sentiment first. They update every Thursday. Bulls slightly higher on AAII, bears 8 ticks lower. NAAIM only up by 1 to 82.66. This gets too close to 100. It's near guaranteed that a pullback is coming back. I know there are no guarantees in the market, but this is an extremely reliable indicator when this gets up to the 100 level. Some news: PPI was cool before the market opened, and Israel is threatening Iran over their nuclear capabilities while the U.S. is negotiating over those same capabilities with Iran. So um, pray for peace, I guess. Keys today, 6,000 to 6035. We topped that level on the S&P. Today's high will become the new top of that range tomorrow. NASDAQ 100 in that 528 to 537 range all day. Up for the last 5 days on the day count, 13 days up above the 8 EMA, 35 above the 21 EMA. Tight action for 5 hours into the close, closing near the highs of the day, though, after that down open. Rallied for the first 90 minutes, put in the highs of the day, and then a tight base that closed at the top of the range was the intraday action. S&P 500 ATR down to 1.07%. We've got that highlighted in green now. That's a nice tight range for the S&P. Be down a little bit more tomorrow, as our range today was less than 1%. As far as sectors go, tech, and then a host of value sectors: XLP, staples, utilities. V is healthcare and real estate led. IGV led, as Oracle had a great reaction to their earnings report. Gold stocks up. To the downside, banks, cloud software, and retail. As far as portfolio changes go, only change in-house was an SSO buy in GROTECTION, 1.36 volatility adjusted beta, 4.58%. Balance at risk, no changes to the turbo portfolio, 2.12. Volatility adjusted beta, 6.06. Balance at risk. Bottom line on the day, a mixed tape. S&P 500 continues to be supported at 6,000. That's the third day now. As I mentioned, mild range expansion for a key on Friday tomorrow. and the Qs versus this range. Let's add another one, and that would be the R2K versus 200-day moving average overhead. We'll keep an eye on that. Let's get to the charts now. And let's start off with Oracle, which was a standout. You can see closing near the highs of the range, breaking out of a flat base on 479% above average volume, up 13% on the day. Fueled by AI, you can note here over the last 4 quarters, this is their highest sales acceleration. Earnings up on a percentage basis less than sales means they're not manufacturing it through accounting. The sales are growing. The market is expecting earnings increases to come. As you can see, the transition from 2026 to 2027 goes from 12% earnings growth to 21% earnings growth. On the downside, Boeing, tragic crash of the Dreamliner in India, it gapped down, closed below the 21-day moving average, down 4.8% on 231% volume. Obviously, not good there. Let's take a look at what we hold in the GROTECTION portfolio. Palantir, tight inside day. GE Vernova, tight range, up 1%. Hood, down 1.4%. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with any of these, actually. HIMS running into 60 resistance and reversing. Bros hanging at the 21-day moving average. Spotify, tight inside day today. NVIDIA continues to ride the 8 EMA higher and making new highs since its earnings report. We talked about Bitcoin. Let's talk about the worst performers. Chewy with the gap down yesterday. A little bit of a bounce today, but below the 21, this will come off the list. AppLovin, there was a short report out on this. It undercut but reclaimed the 21-day moving average. And Credo, which shook us out below our stop, which was below the 8 EMA and the low of the gap update. This has come back nicely the last 2 weeks to get back on our radar. Last 2 days, breaking this downtrend, declining tops downtrend line, and on above average volume today. So some good action there. Let's take a look at the standouts on Turbo to the upside. Sezzle, man, what a bounce off the 21-day moving average 3 days ago. That would have made for a really nice trade. That was the leader to the upside. To the downside, Qubit down 7.7%, but still an inside day. Let's take a look at what we hold in that portfolio. SMR made a higher high and then reversed. It was extended. Rocket Lab pulling back to the 21-day moving average, and Centrus Energy, ticker LEU, inside day, just slightly higher. That's going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. The email's don@revereasset.com. I'm on Twitter at Vandenbord. We also have a corporate Twitter now at Revere Asset. We would appreciate it if you'd like, share, and sub on YouTube. Our YouTube channel, Revere Asset. Our flagship portfolio is named GROTECTION because it's designed to do two things: grow assets during uptrends, grow assets during uptrends, such as we're in now off the lows, and protect them during downtrends. And we highlight it on video every night, exactly what we do, every portfolio trade, and our outlook on the markets. We make the only video that we would need to tell us what's going on in the market. That should be good enough for you too. If there's something missing from these videos and you'd like to see it, drop us a note on YouTube. And with that, I'll wrap it for Thursday, June 12th. This is Don Vandenbord with Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thanks for listening and have a great day.